The kingdom rejoiced as morning rose with a red sun and the first winds of freedom. Ao's body was burned in silence, his ashes thrown into the river without prayer. Malik was hailed as a silent hero. Arinola, once just the untouched jewel of the palace, had now become its lioness, feared, adored, and obeyed. Yet even in triumph, there was a chill beneath her bones, for not all deaths scream. Some hide, some wait. The king awoke on the seventh day, eyes clear but spirit wounded, when he saw his daughter sitting beside him in warrior beads and a steel dagger at her waist. His lips curved into a proud, weak smile. "Your mother," he whispered, "was like you, a storm in a woman's body." But Arinola could not bask in the praise, because that night, as she bathed in herbs and rose water, her reflection shimmered, and behind its eyes, not hers, not Malik's eyes made of shadow, she gasped, clutching her chest. Her belly throbbed with heat, and she felt something stir inside her. Not pain, not life, something in between. She ran through the palace halls, breath ragged, searching for Malik. He was meditating under the moon, shirtless, a wound freshly stitched on his shoulder. She dropped to her knees before him, trembling. "There's something inside me," she whispered. His eyes widened. He touched her belly, and for the first time in his life, he recoiled in fear. A whisper reached his ear, one only he could hear. "The demon seed lives." The ritual hadn't been stopped, it had been interrupted. But just before Ao died, he had whispered the dark chant into Arinola's skin as he gripped her during the final struggle. The demon's essence had slipped into her womb. She was pregnant, not just with a child, but with a choice. Kill the unborn spirit, or raise it as a weapon for good if that were even possible. Malik called the Brotherhood. The elder warriors gathered in a secret chamber beneath the ancient forest, burning incense made from lion bone and cobra skin. They tried to speak to the ancestors, to know what lived in her womb, but the fire answered with screams, not words, just screams. One of the elders bled from his eyes and fell to the ground. "It is not a child, it is a gate, a gate." Arinola felt her breath leave her. Malik held her close, and for once, she felt him shake. This man who never feared fire now trembled beside her. "The gate is alive," the elder gasped. "If opened, the demon returns. But if sealed with a union of flesh and love, it may become a weapon for light." They all looked at Arinola, then at Malik. Only one path remained. They must marry, but it wouldn't be a royal wedding. It would be a blood-bound union under the moon, naked before gods, sealed not with rings but with scars, and after the binding, they must protect the unborn gate for 9 moons, and no one must ever know, but someone already did. In the northern jungle, beyond the burnt mountains, a woman sat by a lake of black water. Her name was Mabia, the last high priestess of the Ikanegbara. She had once loved Ao before he fell into madness, and when he died, she felt it in her womb. She screamed until the waters around her turned to steam. She cut her palm and spilled blood on the stone of bones. "He gave the seed," she hissed, "and I will harvest the flame." She began her own ritual, one that would allow her to see through Arinola's eyes, to feel the child's growth, and when the time was right, she would come, not with an army, but with spirits, bound by lust and hatred back in the palace. Malik and Arinola went into hiding. Their union was blessed under the whispering tree, where ancient lovers once sacrificed their hearts for peace. They kissed as thunder cracked above. Their blood mingled in the soil, and their lovemaking under the storm was not passionate, was prophecy. Arinola screamed into the sky, her body shaking as lightning split the heavens. In that moment, something inside her changed. She saw a flash, a boy, dark-skinned, eyes like fire, standing on a battlefield, and behind him, armies bowed. Her child. But was he a savior, or a god of war? Malik saw it too. His hands trembled as he whispered into her ear, "If we raise him with love, he can save this world. But if hate finds him first," she said, tears sliding down her cheeks, "he will burn it." And hate was already on its way. In a small village to the west, children began dying in their sleep. No wounds, just wide eyes and blackened tongues. The elders blamed demons, but Arinola knew the truth. Mabia had begun the hunt. The priestess sent a shadow assassin, neither spirit nor flesh, to track Arinola and rip the gate from her womb. Malik fought it in the forest with flame and blade, but it vanished like smoke. Arinola bled that night, screamed, prayed, and for the first time, The child inside kicked not with fear, but fury. The gate was awakening. The final battle was not months away, that it had already begun. The jungle did not sleep that night. Trees moaned in the wind like grieving widows, and spirits rustled the leaves with whispers to ancient forewords. Arinola lay on the cold floor of their hidden shrine, sweat rolling down her temple, her eyes wide open in the dark. She could not close them. Every time she did, she saw Mabia. The high priestess had entered her dreams. Her voice was not a scream, nor a chant. It was soft, seductive, the way a mother sings to a child she plans to drown. "Let me in, daughter of kings. Let me guide the seed." Arinola clenched her belly and gasped. Malik stirred beside her, instantly awake, his blade already drawn. But the enemy was not one he could cut. "I saw her," Arinola whispered, voice trembling. "She stood behind the fire in my dream. And the baby." He turned and looked at her, and he smiled. Malik's jaw tightened. "He's listening to her," Arinola said, voice cracking. "Not me." That morning, the jungle wept rain like tears of the forgotten gods. Arinola washed in the river under gray skies, her hands trembling as she felt her belly rounder than it should be. Only a month had passed, yet she looked for moons pregnant. The child was growing with the speed of something not born of normal flesh. Malik paced the riverbank, watching, protecting but also aching. He wanted to touch her, to hold her again, as he had in the dungeon, in the forest, under the thunder. But now, her body was becoming a vessel for a force he barely understood. Later, in the shrine, they called the elder Wanan, oracle, too old to speak in full sentences, eyes milk-white from decades of spirit sight. She touched Arinola's belly, and screamed, her frail body shaking as if lightning had struck her soul. "He is chosen," the oracle rasped, "but not yet claimed." "By who?" Malik asked. "By whoever loves him first." Silence filled the room. Love, a force as sharp as war. Malik knelt beside Arinola, placing both hands on her stomach. He whispered not spells, but stories, memories of his mother, of dancing in the rain as a child, of chasing fireflies on moonless nights. Arinola did the same. She sang to the unborn soul, not with the rhythm of fear, but with lullabies that once lulled her to sleep beneath her father's arms. But far away, in the temple of bone and fire, Mabia laughed. "Too late," she said, caressing a bowl of dark water where the reflection of the unborn child flickered. "He already knows me." She began the ritual of spirit fusion. She sliced open a hawk and whispered her soul into the blood. That bird flew across the mountains that very night, black feathers streaking through the storm. It landed on the roof of the jungle shrine just as Arinola fell asleep, the moment her breath slowed. She dreamed again, but this time, it wasn't Mbiya, it was the child. He stood in the middle of a burning battlefield, no more than 6 years old. His skin shimmered with gold veins, and in his hand he held a blade made of bone and flame. Bodies lay around him. Smoke rose behind him. He looked up at Arinola and said, "Only one thing. If you want to save me, you must become me." She woke screaming, clutching Malik's arm, her heart pounding like the war drums of death. He held her tight, his lips at her temple. "We fight tomorrow," he said, voice steady. "And if we die?" "No," Arinola interrupted, teeth clenched, eyes blazing. "We don't die." She stood, naked except for the symbols carved in ash on her chest, her swollen belly glowing faintly in the moonlight. Her eyes met Malik's, and in that gaze was no more fear, only fury. "We kill everything that comes for our son,"